Hi friends, Maiga here, and if you're new here, hi, my name is Maiga Vidal. I'm a musical theater writer, and on this channel I take you through the process of writing a musical from the page all the way to the stage. So if any of that interests you, please make sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment below. What's your favorite musical? How did you even find me in the first place? Or anything that you see in this video. This is my favorite comment from the last vlog I posted. I'll try to feature my favorite comment here in this section, which I like to call the housekeeping section. So here's a bit of housekeeping. First things first, as I'm sure you are aware from this little intro, New York is very loud. Not to mention, at the time of recording this video, I did not have an AC unit. I have one now. It'll be in a vlog sometime soon. But that also means that just to survive in the humidity and heat that is New York City in July, my fan was on. And also it's really loud outside and it's raining and there's just a lot of noise, and I tried to mitigate that as much as possible in these vlogs, but some of it is just unavoidable. So I'm sorry if the sound quality isn't what you're usually used to with my vlogs. I really did try my best, but some things just don't work out the way they're supposed to. Secondly, this is a bit of an experiment for me. This is the first time I've split up my week into 2 vlogs. So I'm posting for the second time in the same 7-day period, which is an interesting which is an interesting turn of events for me. So let me know how you feel about these being split up and whether you like either longer vlogs or shorter vlogs throughout the week. I'd be very interested to know. And then obviously the last thing, which is the caveat and the reason that this housekeeping section exists, is that these vlogs are purposely a month behind. It just allows me to share my writing process without worrying about potentially talking about things too soon. And finally, it's that these vlogs are not a proof of concept, it's about sharing the writing process. So anything that I talk about in here is fair game, even if it doesn't make it into the musical one day, because they were the stepping stones to get me the final creation. And now that I've rambled long enough, let's jump into this vlog. Hi gang, it is currently 3:13. I went to sleep super late yesterday. I did not write after, even though I said that I was. I just watched My Hero Academia and just chilled. I worked on the computer here during the day with the video editing. It was just hard for me to get in the zone here again. And I have work tonight, so I sort of need to leave this space to do that. So I'm heading to the library. It's really a 10-minute walk from here. I am very much looking forward to hanging out at the library and sort of trying to get my mojo back. I am gonna just take my iPad. I feel like because I haven't written in a while, I'm feeling a lot of pressure right now. And so that makes me not want to write, because I have this ADHD thing where it's that's why I write 1 page every day, so I don't lose the steam, because it's the biggest hurdle really is starting. It's not continuing as much as getting over that first big hurdle of starting. So all I have to do is just write 16 lines of dialogue. That's it. I just need to write 16 lines of dialogue. I don't want to show you for obvious reasons. So I'll see you at the library. I'm so excited to check out books too. Editing Maiga here. Now, the reason I'm here, I usually don't try to intercept the vlogs unless I absolutely have to, and this was one of those moments. This clip, which was really long and extensive, is absolutely inaudible. I had no idea how close the fan was to the mic because I'm recording on my phone, and so editing it back, I was it is so unpleasant to listen to. The other ones I was able to sort of work around and find some ways to filter out the noise, but this one was just not possible. So I'm here with everything that I said because I think it's actually important to the connective tissue of this process, and if I had realized how little this room is and how much it echoes and how much sounds that the fan picks up, I would have known. But these are things that you learn as you record these vlogs and as you edit them. And as I said, this was so early on in me living here in New York in terms of literally my first week. So, the learning curve is very steep. So let's jump into it. The first thing, and you saw in the clips before that, is that I went to my local library. It's close by. It's so exciting. It's one of those things where you don't know what you're missing until you have it. And having a library you can walk to every day is so nice. And this was my first time there, and it was great. I talk about this a little bit later, but I ended up finally printing the pages that I sent to John in for notes and edits. So I was able to print that that version of the script along with John's notes. I had a previous version that you saw me work on while I was in Syracuse. This is that like all combined, right? So I had the 3 first scenes that I printed in Syracuse. Those were the ones that I highlighted and I was like, I'm gonna move that around. Then what I sent to John included scenes 1 through 5, and that's what I ended up printing because I knew that I wanted to make some line edits to these scenes, but more importantly, I knew that I wanted to tear scene 5 apart, and that only comes from literally having, at least for me in my like editing process, I need to have like the physical paper so that I can mark it up and cut it and have that be there. I'll talk about that more in depth as the vlogs go through, but this is what I was talking about in that clip. Secondly, I love that I have like my little notes here. Secondly, what makes the library honestly great, outside of it being so close by, is that it has an AC. I can't begin to explain how I did not have an AC in my apartment. Right now, it's not running here, but I can turn it on and it keeps this place cool. And with my fan, I'm able to survive. So this took a long time to get here. So I guess spoiler if you're like looking to see that reaction real time in the vlogs. But like living during that time was literally unbearable. I was sweating so much, literal misery. Humidity really does kill, I'll say. Like the dry heat that I was used to in California was not what I was experiencing. So walking into that library that day, immediate relief. The fact that there was an AC unit and I could sit down and it was cool. So very much looking forward to spending time at the library. What do I have here? I wrote something that I cannot read. Another important thing, and it was actually an unboxing thing, which was why I was really upset about losing the clip, is that I ended up buying those AirPods from my friend Michael that I had talked about, and I was going to try them out that day, and Michael was so sweet to send them over. We were originally supposed to be, but he ended up not being able to come to New York from Jersey before his like long summer road trip, so he was just really sweet to send those out. Oh, I'm like trying to figure out what I wrote here, my handwriting. But to transition us into the next clip, what I ended up working on at the library that day was scene 6. As I talked about, I printed out all that stuff and wanted to take what I had in scene 5 that I knew was going to be sort of in the next scene and put that together to start writing scene 6. When I sent scene 5 to John, I knew that I was sort of overwriting in that scene. I knew that those beats might be better expressed in a different scene, but I knew that I wanted John to sort of read those and be like, is this the right direction for the story to go, and give me some feedback. Don't bite that. And so because I knew that I overwrote in those sections, I needed to cut that for scene 5 and then also save that and write it into scene 6. And that's what I ended up working on in the library that day. And now let's take it back to past me. So here's what I wrote. I ended up taking a lot of what I actually wrote for the excerpt. So here's my excerpt script in Word, which that's why it doesn't look right, because it's not formatted correctly. But as you can see, I have a little scene here, scene 6, and I think this scene needs to be in the same place for my musical. I had cut the baby you're gay transition in the last draft I sent to John. So this way it allows me to bring it back and also bring the new dialogue intention that I have from the new draft, which I did end up printing at the library. It's also 10 cents. I don't have like a stapler or anything like that like they do at the Syracuse library, so you know, makes you miss what you had. But yeah, that's sort of the vibe at the moment. Tomorrow I have like 2 dates with friends. My friend and fellow musical theater writer Zalman, follow him here on Insta. We are meeting tomorrow for the first time in person. And also I'm meeting with my friend Nasa, who I know from high school. She was a senior while I was a freshman. She is the person who like lent me her apartment to come here during March. But yeah, I think that's sort of the end of the day today. So with that, I'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow's Saturday, right? I don't even know what vlog number this is. I don't know. What time is it? 10:53. Marin is hanging out with me. I have some work to do for the podcast, but then I figured I'm probably gonna write tonight. I hung out with my friend Zelman. Super cool. You already saw it in the vlog. But the funniest part of this whole experience was actually that I took the R train and it stopped running. Oh, hi. Sorry. So I had to walk over a mile to my apartment in this horrible heat. It was definitely one of those days where it's like, you don't know how the subway runs during the weekend. I think it's a little bit different. Also, fun fact, I just got this email from the university. Marin, no. And apparently we have summer reading. So I'm excited to, I guess, start the NYU vlogs. I haven't decided exactly how I'm gonna tackle this, because like, is it gonna be like NYU vlogs on a different place? Or like, am I gonna post like every couple of days instead of just like every week? I don't know exactly how it's gonna play out, so I'm very interested to hear your thoughts. I got some really good feedback on Baby You're Gay, so I'm gonna bring it back. That's right, I thought about cutting it. I'm sorry, okay, I was wrong, but now it's back. It's back. So the tradition of eating at my counter on my little chair continues, because I still don't have a table in this place. But my favorite tumbler, the pink one that I'm always using, that you see on the vlogs, the lid got misplaced. So I can't like take it with me anywhere to go. And as you guys know, I found the library. So I had to buy a tumbler. And as you saw, I went to Starbucks earlier. So look at it. It's very like touristy. I'm here for it. I love the way it looks. And New York City. This subway, I'm gonna have a lot of thoughts about the metro for sure. I'm excited to have something that I can take my coffee in and not have to pay for coffee every day, and just have that at the local library while I'm working. I also, and I'll show you later, ended up buying a notebook. I tried the sketchbook. I did not really jive with it. It was too big. I went to Barnes & Noble's because I'm a member there, and like if you're a member at Barnes & Noble's, you get the size up and you pay. So like if you get a venti, you pay for the grande. And you also get a discount from things you buy. So I ended up buying a notebook. Actually, I'm just gonna get it now. So I bought this one. It's a Leiksturm, $25. It's kind of expensive, but it was the same amount of money to ship the one that I was thinking of getting on Amazon that was cheaper because of the, you either pay the shipping or you have to get a certain amount of money before you get shipping for free. So I just bought it, and I got it cheaper because of my discount. This is gonna be my Café con Leche book where I keep all my notes just because I write so much. And this is what I ended up taking notes of today. Here are the little Instagram posts. I posted about the revelations about Nescafe being like such the cornerstone of Chilean coffee culture. Like I knew that as a Chilean person, like Nescafe, bitch, I'm drinking Nescafe right now. It's literally my go-to instant coffee, because even though I love like fancy tasting coffee, I don't want to make it at home. It's just not fast, and I don't really want to learn how to do it. That's why I go to coffee shops. So I think it's so funny that I get to use my innate, very hardcore experience about Nescafe for this show. So anyway, those are the updates. It is 8:56 right now. I think for the rest of the evening, I'm probably gonna be editing a vlog and reading a book. I finally got my Brooklyn Library card, as y'all know. So I checked out a book that I've been reading. I don't remember the name. A murder mystery set in a coffee shop. I'm just trying to read a lot of like books set in coffee shops to sort of get the vibe right. Just because I feel like there's a lot of puns out there, and seeing them in context will help me kind of add them to my show as well. I think that's the end of the vlog. It's been a crazy week. It's literally pouring rain right now, but the subway LA has a mind of its own. You know, I see a lot of my New York City friends post on their Instagram stories about like this shit's delayed or this thing, or, you know, and I was like, it can't be that bad, right? But during the weekends, it's especially heinous. Things don't run the way they run. I tried to take the R and it was like there was some issue going on, and so like what would have taken like 20 minutes for me to get to the Barnes & Noble literally took 45 minutes. And like if I had an actual thing to go to, that would have been horrible. And like luckily the Barnes & Noble's was like a couple steps down from a Starbucks that was like open till like 8, so I was able to hang out there till around like 7:30ish, 7:35. So it's just like one of those things where it's like, luckily I'm not in a rush. But what if I was? I do think I am going to get a composition book once I have access to like the NYU student store. But you know, Café con Leche year 3 deserves something a little bit nicer. So I'm looking forward to filling this up and using it. I wish I could show you my pencil, and I think you saw how small my pencil is. Like it's so little. I'm so excited to finish my first pencil of the season. Like I have a lot of other open pencils that I've sharpened, so I'm excited to dwindle those down. So anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time with a new vlog. Let me know how I should split up the vlogs between like NYU and living in the city and my own like musical projects. So yeah, this is long-winded. I'm hungry.